Welcome back to JForrest English. I'm Jennifer, and today you're going to learn all the super common phrasal verbs with get to help you sound fluent and natural just like a native speaker. And make sure you watch until the end because there'll be a quiz. Let's get started. To get ahead. This means to progress, so to make progress towards something. And we most commonly use this in a career setting or academic setting. For example, if you want to get ahead, you need fluent English. Would you agree with that? Put that in the comments. If you want to get ahead, you need fluent English. Now notice how I didn't specify get ahead in what. If you want to get ahead at work, in your career, so don't forget that. But you can also just say if you want to get ahead. To get along with. Most students know this one. Do you know this one? When you get along with someone, it means you have a good relationship with that person. I really get along with my boss. But we commonly use this in the negative. I don't get along with my boss. So you can use it in both the positive or the negative. So which describes you? I get along with my boss. I don't get along with my boss. To get away. This means to escape. So you can use this in two contexts. The criminal got away. So that means he escaped. The robber got away. He stole my car and he got away. He escaped. But we also use this more in the sense of to escape from your daily life, the difficulties of your daily life. Oh, I really need to get away. Work has been so busy. I don't get along with my boss. I need to get away. Another common phrasal verb with get away is to get away with something. And that something is negative. For example, she got away with the crime. This means she wasn't punished for the crime. So she did something wrong, but she got away with it. She got away with stealing the car. Notice that verb ing, with stealing the car. To get off lightly. This is when you are punished for something, but you're punished less severely than you anticipated. So maybe you forgot to submit a report at work, but you got off lightly. Your boss didn't fire you, but they did remove you from the account. So you were punished, but you were punished less severely than you expected. We also use this more in a criminal context. She stole the car, but she got off lightly. So maybe she didn't go to prison, she only had to do community service. To get back. This is used to say that you return to your original starting point. So let's say you're at home, but then you go to the store and then you return back home. So now you can say, I got back at 7 o'clock. What time did you get back? Now you can specify the place. What time did you get back home? Back to the office? Oh, I got back around 7. We commonly use this with your vacations. What time did you get back from your trip to Italy? Oh, I got back on Tuesday. You returned home from Italy. There's also the phrasal verb to get back to someone. You might say, oh, I really need to get back to John. When you get back to someone, it means you respond to that person. So if I say I need to get back to John, it means that John contacted me, but I have not replied. So maybe he asked me a question and I have not answered his question. I need to get back to John. Or John might say, when are you going to get back to me? When are you going to respond to my question? When you get back into something, it means you continue doing something that you stopped for a period of time. So let's say you decided to learn how to play guitar or piano, and you play guitar every week for months and months and months. And then you stop playing guitar. You get very busy at work. But then work is no longer busy, so you say, oh, I need to get back into guitar. I need to get back into my guitar lessons. So maybe you could use this with your language lessons. I need to get back into my English language class. Are you enjoying this lesson on phrasal verbs? You are probably a little bit confused as well because there are just so many phrasal verbs in English. And if you want to become very confident with phrasal verbs, then I want to tell you about the Finally Fluent Academy. This is my premium training program where we study native English speakers on TV, movies, YouTube, and the news so you can learn the most common phrasal verbs, idioms, and expressions very quickly and easily. Plus, you'll have me as your personal coach. So you can look in the description to learn more about becoming a member today. Now let's continue on with our next get phrasal verb. To get back at someone. This is used for revenge. So if you didn't get back to John, which means you didn't reply to John and you didn't answer his question, maybe John will try to get back at you. He'll try to get revenge on you. So maybe he'll tell everyone that you're not very helpful. And that's how he gets back at you. To get behind someone or something, this is when you support someone or something. So let's say your company has a new policy on their dress code and you like the policy. You can say, I can really get behind that policy. You support that policy. To get by. This is when you have just enough resources to survive. We most commonly use this with financial resources. So you might say with inflation, I can barely get by. So it means you can pay your bills, pay your mortgage, buy groceries, but just enough. At the end of the month, you have $1 or $2 left in your account. I'm getting by. To get into trouble. I'm sure you do this all the time. When you get into trouble, it just means you enter that situation where you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, which is the trouble. So kids get into trouble all the time. That's why you don't leave your kids at home without an adult to supervise them, because they're going to get into trouble. They're going to write on all the walls with crayon or eat all the cookies in the fridge. They're going to get into trouble. To get on, this is when you board, which means to enter certain vessels, certain methods of transportation. So you can get on a plane, a train, a boat, or a bus. I got on the plane. You entered the plane. You boarded the plane. To get on is also used as an expression to say that someone is old or has become very old. So you might say, my grandma is getting on, which means my grandma is now quite old. She's become very old. My grandma's getting on, so she has difficulty getting on a plane. Now, what's the opposite of on? I'm on the plane. I got on the plane, so now I need to get off the plane. And remember, you only get off certain methods of transportation: planes, trains, boats, and buses. This is my stop. I need to get off the bus, get off the train. For vehicles, cars, vans, or trucks, you get in and get out of. I got in my car. I got out of my car. So don't confuse those two. We also use get in when you enter a room in a building or enter a house or a location. So this is very common at work. A coworker could ask you, oh, what time did you get in? They mean, what time did you enter the office? So you can also use it to mean, what time did you start your work day? Because when you enter the office building, technically you've started work. So what time did you get in is another way of saying, what time did you start work? Now in this case, although the opposite of in is out, we have an expression to get off, which means to end work for the day. So someone could ask you, oh, what time do you get off today? What time do you usually get off? What time are you getting off tomorrow? This means, what time do you finish work? Do you end work just for the day? To get out is also used as an expression of disbelief. So let's say your friend tells you, I won the lottery. Get out. Get out. Get out of here. Get out of town. So you can add get out of here, or less commonly, but still common, get out of town. It's just to show that I can't believe it. What? Get out. Get out. So if your friend says something very shocking or surprising, I'm moving to Antarctica. Get out. Get out of town. Why? Why are you doing that? When you get out of something or get out of doing something, it means you avoid doing something unpleasant. So I could say, I need to get out of cleaning the garage because that's unpleasant and I don't want to do it. To get together, this is when people organize socially. They join each other socially. So I might ask, what time are we getting together tonight? So what time are we going to meet each other, join each other, and have dinner, have a cup of coffee, go for a walk, do something social? Now, if you specify the noun, you need with. What time are you getting together with your friends tonight? You probably know this one, to get up. What time do you get up? This is when you leave your bed in the morning, first thing in the morning. So what time do you wake up? This is when you open your eyes. But then get up is when you actually leave your bed. So I wake up at 6 a.m., but I don't get up until 6:30. But how about this one? Get up to. What did you get up to last night? This is a common way of simply asking what someone did. Oh, what did you get up to last night? Oh, not much. I watched a movie. We also use this one though to imply that someone is doing something wrong. My kids are always getting up to no good. This is the same thing as getting into trouble. But in a general context, oh, what did you get up to last night? It's what did you do last night? To get across. This is to communicate your idea successfully. So as a non-native speaker, you might say, I have a hard time getting my ideas across. I have a hard time communicating successfully. And if you have a hard time getting your ideas across, someone might ask you, what are you getting at? What are you getting at? This is another way of saying, what are you trying to communicate? What do you mean? So if you're trying to explain something, but the other person doesn't understand, they can say, what are you getting at? Now, to get at can also mean to successfully reach something or find something or obtain something. So let's say I have a shelf and I have a hat on a very high shelf. I might say, I can't get at my hat. I can't reach my hat. To get rid of. This is when you throw away, so permanently remove unwanted items. So remember I said I wanted to get out of cleaning my garage. because there's so many things I need to get rid of. There's so many unwanted things in my garage that I want to permanently remove. So maybe once a year, you can go through your entire house and get rid of things. Get rid of unwanted things. To get wound up about something is when you get really angry about something. So let's say your father doesn't like politics in general. So every time he sees something in the news about politicians, he gets wound up. He gets really angry. But you might say to your dad, get over it. Get over it. To get over something is when you tell someone they shouldn't have strong feelings towards something else. And those strong feelings are usually negative feelings. So if your dad gets really wound up about politics, you can say, oh, just get over it. It's not a big deal. You can, of course, get over someone. Do you know this one? When you get over someone, it means you no longer have romantic feelings for that person. So after my divorce, it took me years to get over my husband. It took me years to stop having romantic feelings towards my husband. Now, someone could say, get over it. Stop being upset about the situation that you're no longer with your husband, but that might be a little insensitive. You can also get over an illness, which means you recover from an illness. It took me weeks to get over my cold. It took me weeks to recover from my cold. To get around, this is how you travel within an area. So if you're a tourist, you might Google, what's the best way to get around New York City? And of course, it's not by car. You don't want to get around by car because the traffic is terrible. So walking is the best way to get around, or taking the subway is the best way to get around New York City. When you get around to something or to doing something, it means you finally do something after not doing it for a long period of time. So let's say I was trying to get out of cleaning the garage because I didn't really want to get rid of all that unwanted stuff. But I finally got around to cleaning the garage. So I finally cleaned the garage after a long time of not cleaning the garage. To get it together is when you take control of your life or your emotions. So let's say your friend is really upset because she broke up with her husband and she has not gotten over him. And you want to tell your friend to just get over it. But instead, you tell your friend, get it together. Get it together. You need to take control of your emotions because your friend is crying all the time, or she's really upset, she's really moody, angry, not pleasant to be around. And you tell your friend you need to get it together, which is a little bit of tough love, but sometimes it's necessary. There are many phrasal verbs with get through that have different meanings. When you get through something, it means you endure or deal with a difficult situation. It was really difficult for me to get through my father's death. So my father died. Obviously, that's a difficult situation. Hopefully you don't say get over it because that would be very insensitive. But I had a hard time getting through my father's death. So you can use this in a personal situation. You can use it in a work situation as well. I don't get along with my boss, so I have a hard time getting through our meetings. I have a hard time dealing with our meetings because I don't get along with my boss. When you get through something, it can also mean that you successfully finish something that was very difficult or time consuming. I finally got through the report. So you finished it, but it took you a really long time. It was difficult. When you get through to someone, it means that you successfully contact them after numerous attempts of trying to contact them. So let's say I needed to get back to John. I needed to respond to John, but every time I called John, I got his voicemail. I could say, I'm having a hard time getting through to John. So I can't get back to John because I can't get through to him. But we also use to get through to someone when you're able to communicate something to someone in a way that they understand it. So I told my friend that she shouldn't quit her job, and I explained all the reasons why, and I finally got through to her. So I finally made her understand why she shouldn't quit her job. Your head is probably spinning right now with all of these phrasal verbs with get, but all you need is some practice, 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 and repetition. So let's do that right now with a quiz so you have a chance to review and practice these get phrasal verbs. So how did you do with that quiz? Don't worry if it was difficult. Again, you just need to practice. So review this video again multiple times. Try that quiz again. But share your score in the comments so you can come back and see how much you've improved. And share your favorite phrasal verb with get in the comments as well. And before you go, you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can download this for free from my website right here. And you can get started with your next lesson right now.